hungry, terrified, clutching your babes to your breast. Emperor Emir has marched his legions into our lands, laid siege to every fortress from here to the Blue Mountains. Rabid and ravenous, he bites and bites away. Men of the North, you stand at the precipice. Your kings have failed you, so now you turn to the gods. And yet you do not plead. You do not kneel to dust your heads with
Ой, ну что, погнали.
Work doth one no sloth doth one
Think your friend's hand'll make for a nice broth?
You've clearly honed your sense of humor. But we are not cannibals, Geralt. I took a fragment of tissue.
What did you do with the rest?
I cremated it, as our codex commands. A raven told me you'd acquired the necessary ingredient.
Pretty helpful creatures.
I try not to overdo it, but they can be so useful, as they were now, when I merely needed to be sure I could arrive in time should things go sour.
Managed fine alone, but thanks for the thought. Gonna need much longer to finish brewing resonance? Mentioned the last ingredient, too. What about that?
That, I fear, might prove troublesome. You see, to use the concoction to summon the memories of one, the solution must contain the blood of another specimen of the same species.
Shouldn't be a problem. I happen to know a higher vampire who should be willing to help. Right, Regis?
It's not that simple, I'm afraid. While you were away, I tried my damnedest to identify a replacement, but alas, none such exists.
Not sure I understand what the problem is. Can't we just draw some of your blood?
The blood must be in an agitated state. As I'm certain you know, higher vampires can change their corporeal shell. As our flesh changes, so does our blood's chemical composition. To make a long story short, I shall need to induce in myself a state of strong psychokinetic arousal. In brief, madness, rabidity. And that stands to be very, very dangerous.
All right, so what do you want to do?
We shall visit Tesha Mudna, an ancient vampire estate. There we will find cages suspended in the air. I will enter one, be confined. You will lure beasts there. Beasts you will then kill. The bloodletting should prove profuse. Abundant enough so that the blood scent will drive me mad. Wild.
Tesham Mutna. What's it like?
It is a place of torment. A torture chamber. Long ago, shortly after we'd arrived in this world, one among us named Kagmar developed such a taste and lust this brought trouble on the entire species. Common folk wearied quickly of living in constant fear. They began to hunt us, seek the aid of mages and witches in tracking us down.
So what? Not like they could ever hope to kill you.
But they were bothersome. Forgive the comparison, but when did you last enjoy mosquitoes buzzing around your head? In any case, the other vampires decided something had to be done. Kagmar had to be caught and punished. A torture chamber was thus outfitted. Kagmar was captured and locked in the cage. Sat there over 2 centuries, driven to fury time after time, never able to escape.
See,
In a moment. Just one last thing.
what was that?
Blood. Oh, the last favor the Raven did me. I've also taken some Sancurium, a solution that sharpens one's sense of smell. One drop of blood shall smell like a gallon to me now.
You crazy? You're a recovering addict.
Your outrage warms my heart, Geralt. But you must remain calm. I have no choice. As things stand, the die is cast. High time we set off for Tesh and Mut.
And you're starting to scare me.
We have arrived. The sacrificial chamber of torture and torment lies underground.
You lead. Scurvers must be getting close to their feeding ground.
Correct. I told you there'd be danger. Beyond this wall lies...
An ancient vampire dungeon. Seen a lot of things in my time. Nothing quite like this, though.
I feel honored. A man with such a wealth of experience, yet I'm about to show him something new. Now, to open it.
How the hell?
It's an ancient form of protection against unwanted guests. The mechanism which releases the latch reacts only to a higher vampire's blood.
Tricky mechanisms, a vampire hideout. Fortified, secured. Must have been important to your species once, Toussaint.
It shall always be so. During the conjunction, the gate from our world into this one opened upon this land and no other. This was the first place we saw.
Human husbandry and care. Is for real?
The author observed humans, their behavior, over the many years he spent breeding them. Morally sus. B needs a thorough survey of the topic.
This place. There's evil here. Death hangs in the air.
Yes. A great many beings have breathed their last here.
Glyphs are carved into the rock. Coated with blood used to be. They mean something?
They're emblems, symbols of what you would call tribes, dispersed throughout the world after the conjunction. My ancestors placed them here too. Remind us all where we came from.
Seems your kind assembled a peculiar little library.
Indeed. Though I personally did not lay a hand to it.
Cells? Who for?
Ah, disgraceful. Excruciatingly so, this particular page from our history. I'd rather not summon the demons of the past if it's all right with you.
Whose is this glyph?
Amaran. They ventured beyond the...
What's this symbol mean?
It's the symbol of the Tedet. Those who went east, beyond the Blue Mountains.
And this one? Which tribe's this?
Garisham. My tribe, and Dettlaff's. We both remained in this part of the world.
Charming place. But what are all those cages for? Mentioned one vampire being kept here.
Yes, well, you see, humanitarians is something my ancestors were not. They concluded Kagmar would best be punished if he were tormented with the scent of blood he could not taste. Thus, they also kept humans here. Humans whose blood they slowly let. Kagmar ranted and raged in pain as those humans slowly bled to death.
They treated them like livestock. Live bait.
I'd like to be able to turn back time, deny it, but alas, I can do neither. Feel shame for my brethren. That is all I can do.
Don't take it so hard. Nothing you could have done about it. Let's get to work.
Well, that was awkward. Fine. I prepared the bait. Please be so kind and place it. Ideally at the tunnel entrances. The scent will spread most effectively then. Place the bait at the tunnel entrances. Monsters will catch its scent more quickly.
When I think how these tunnels got here, send shivers.
It was the natural order of things. The place reeked of death and it attracted necrophages.
Three done. One left. Think this'll work?
I certainly hope so. The meat stench is so thick, I wager it carries clear to nowhere.
Bait set. What now?
I shall enter the cage. You must chain me inside. The bars are made of an alloy that will prevent me from transforming into mist.
Kinda thought you wouldn't want to.
I shall be in great pain. My sole thought being to stop that pain. I cannot know what I will do. We must hurry. The beasts have caught the scent, also my head. I started spinning.
That the blood?
Someone who's never experienced a vampire's bloodlust does not know the true meaning of thirst.
Maybe we need a safe word. You know, something you'll say when you can't take it anymore.
And what did you do once I uttered it?
Don't know. Down. Somehow.
Please, go.
Smell the blood. Good. Hear more coming. Hold on, I'll let you out. Need to hang on a little longer. Blood'll dry in a few hours. Scent won't bother you anymore. Get you out of here.
The concoction.
You can't finish it in this state. Tell me how. I'll help you. Any better?
Far from ideal. And some time must pass before I fully
Resonance. It's ready.
Are you certain you followed the formula? The proportions were exact. This is important, Geralt.
Relax. Got some experience brewing potions.
Very well. In that case, let's begin.
Excuse me. I shall only take a moment.
You jumped the queue, sir.
But Count, sir, you must understand. I've a meeting. The Count...
Sir, you were next. Please, take a seat. This gentleman was here first. Step down or you shall regret it.
Ah, fails to realize he was your friend, Count.
It was then I ordered him to give up his seat and step off the stand. If only you'd seen his face. We got him good, didn't we, Detlef? And then Mother insisted we buy the mill. Curious, eh? But at least I've a yarn to spin for friends and associates. Forgive me. What?
Awake at last. You ride like a squirrel caught in a snare. I'd begun to fear they were death throes, that you'd departed.
Sure wasn't pleasant, but it worked.
What did you see?
Delacroix. His death did not come easy. Seems Dettlaff had made friends with him. Still killed him, chopped up his corpse. And he was overcome with fury, remorse. Cut off the hand that had committed the murder.
Interesting. And entirely unlike the Detlef I know. See anything else?
There was something. Showed up twice in the vision. A bootblack stand. Dettlaff first met Delacroix there. Went back after the murder, actually.
Peculiar.
Stand was somewhere in the Port District. And the bootblack acted as if he knew Dettlaff.
That would be even odder. Perhaps we should have a chat with the lad. Though I would expect no breakthroughs.
It's our only lead. I'll go talk to him. Coming with.
I shall join you later if it's no trouble. I don't yet feel strong enough to venture out.
That's fair. Rest. Something here. Where's that artifact Kira gave me? Interesting. decaying bones. Kikimors must have tunneled into the grave.
If only I had the
Bootblacks don't usually work nights. Need to come back during the day.
So how would you explain it? Whether it pours for a week or the sun bakes our pates, we've always mud up to our ankles here.
You can't blame me for Beauclair's fickle weather.
Fickle weather! I've seen you! You empty your chamber pot in front of our shop each morn, so folks will dirty their boots, go to you to get them cleaned.
A far-fetched conspiracy theory, sirs.
I'll conspire to welt your bum with my belt. Come here!
Leave him alone.
Just who the spit are you?
A witcher, and I'd advise you to go back where you came from.
I thought witches defend men from monsters, not cheats from justice.
Need to talk to the boy.
You can chat to him all you like, after we tan his hide. So stand down.
Not gonna happen.
Won't it? Well, then we'll thrash you as well, which is all the same to me. No, now let's not do anything rash.
We'll break your legs!
Circle him!
vagrant!
Circle him! You to help scofflaws and cheats!
You're not a complete bug.
What's the meaning of this? The brawl? Who started it?
I'm investigating the beast, on the Duchess's orders.
Ah, yes. We've heard of you. And these men, what are they doing?
Nothing really. Had a little misunderstanding. Figured it out, though.
Uh-huh, I see. As the Duchess's protege, you may go. But this lot, that's another matter. You'll come with us. Some time in a cell ought to scare the dimwits out of you. Come on.
You're very good with your fists, sir. Wouldn't be looking for work, would you? We'd make a fine duo.
Yeah? How you imagine that working?
Splendidly. That's how. I suggest a partnership, where I see to the boots while you stand guard. And as you're the stronger, come morn you take the chamber pot out and help me make mud.
Bit about the mud's true? They were right to want to box your ears.
I've got to make a living somehow, so what say you, sir? Partners?
Let me think about it. Listen, I'm interested in a certain gentleman.
Oh, wait! Before we get to talking, please, take a seat.
But my boots are clean.
In this city, no boots are clean unless they just come off my stamp. A seat, sir, please. So then, who was it you wanted to ask about?
One of your patrons. Tall, elegant black frock. Not from around here.
An arrival? Indeed. I hear a faint bell ringing. A modest sum might make it sing out loud and clear.
How much?
Let's say 500 crowns.
What? Gotta be kidding me. What would you even do with that kind of coin?
Expand my venture. I'm sure you can imagine. Have a proper stand with a big sign. I want a new box too. New polishes, new brushes. And if I've enough coin left, I'll buy a share in a launderer's. Get wastewater for free.
Got it all planned out.
I should think so. Capital is all I require.
All right. Let's see if we can't figure something out.
It's not quite... I don't know... It... Ah, see?
Fine. Guess I...
1,000 thanks. I shan't forget it. I know the fellow you seek, though I don't know his name. A steady pay...
Know where I might find him?
No, but you could wait here. Perhaps he'll stop by.
Don't have the time for that. Sure you don't know where to find him? Or maybe notice which direction he came from?
When I clean boots, sir, I do not look up to see where folk come from. I clean.
It seems you're having a rough go of it.
Oh, you're here. Feeling better?
I am, thank you. The local necropolis. The air does wonders for me. Now, if I might intercede, I dare say I've the right question to ask. Young man, you see this vial? One drop added to your boot polish will help you wipe even the most encrusted boot clean as the dome of St. Lebioda's cathedral. With it, you will serve 3 times as many patrons at a fraction of the effort. And piles more coin. I'm prepared to give you this vial if you tell me where the man we seek lives.
But you won't hurt him, will you? The gentleman's art, true, but he's kind.
In point of fact, he's a friend. Yet we had a falling out of sorts and would like to straighten matters out.
I leave his boots at the door of a house near the port. The door is red, but I do not know if the gentleman lives there.
Worth checking. Might happen on a lead.
Would you let me scrape the dirt off your kickers before you go? With all due respect, sirs, your boots could stand a cleaning.
Thank you. Perhaps later.
For you are in
you saw.
Handled that kid pretty well.
Finding the right approach. That's the trick to dealing with children.
Yeah, saw that. Meaning, the right thing to bribe them with.
Would you squeeze my passport?
Ollie! Accent free!
Red door. One the boot black mentioned. Won't budge. Gotta break it down.
You might just as well stand out in the street, pound on a drum and holler, "Dettlaff, I'm coming for you." A bit more finesse, I implore you.
Let's hear your idea.
Give me a moment.
Nice. Ever consider becoming a burglar? Skill like that'd come in awful handy.
I considered it briefly, but ultimately concluded it would be terribly dull. Come.
He here? Sense him.
No, he's not here, but he was here recently. His scent is still strong.
Let's look around. Old toy. No use to anyone. Shame. Must have brought someone joy sometime. Somebody fixed this recently. No dust mark. Somebody moved this here recently. Nice little trinket.
I find these puppets rather disturbing.
Sometimes I think I might end up like one of these toys.
This is no time for...
Somebody fixed this recently. No dust mark. Somebody moved this here recently. Nice little trinket.
I find these puppets rather disturbing.
Attic, let's go. So this is his nest. Need to look around. Dettlaff van der Eretain, you do not know us, but we know you to be a vampire. We know also of your weakness for the wench they call Renawed. Now you know this. We shall chain her down and let rats feed on her. We shall flay the skin from her flesh. Yet you can save her. You need but travel to Beauclair, where you shall slay 5 men in the manner we prescribe. You must complete the killing in 3 days. Fail, and the next letter you receive will contain a memento of your failure. Your beloved's finger.
There you have it. Proof positive Dettlaff killed not of his own accord. A blackmailer sunk his claws into him.
Who's Renawed?
His one-time lover. The sole human woman with whom he was very close. Because she accepted him. With her aid and care, he found a place for himself in this hostile world. She began the work that I strive to continue.
Ever meet her?
Never had the pleasure, alas. She deserted him a time before he came around to save me, though he always claimed she'd gone missing.
Why do you think that? Any signs or clues to that effect?
None to be found. Apparently she disappeared one day. Her belongings disappeared with her. Not a scenario one associates with kidnapping. In my humble opinion, she left on...
Dettlaff have trouble letting go, accepting...
Is that so hard to believe? Do you know no humans who've struggled with just such a thing? Not only was she his beloved, his lover, his mate, she was a member of it.
Even if Renawed did abandon him that time, looks like someone's actually kidnapped her this time.
Hard to argue with that, and hard to foresee what he's prepared to do to free.
He's prepared to kill.
As would you be for Yennefer. He kills for he cares for her deeply. And that blood, those
Yeah, I get it now. He's out to rescue a female from his pack.
Exactly.
Right, so someone's blackmailing him. We know that. Still have... Tools were used recently. Dettlaff unwind by fixing toys between murders.
Really, Geralt, must you?
Nice tune.
Indeed. I'm not certain why, but it reminds me of home. Our true home from before the conjunction of spheres.
Woman's likeness. Bit smudged. That Renawed old toy. No use to anyone. Shame. Must have brought someone joy sometime. Somebody fixed this recently.
I find these puppets rather disturbing.
Look, slips of paper, name on each. Count Crespi, Count Dulac, Milton de Peyrac-Peyrin, Count Delacroix.
Dettlaff's victims, one and all. But that's not his hand.
Must have come from whoever wrote all of it written using the same ink. See the color? Ink was dyed with cinnabarite. Rare mineral, pretty much found only in...
Nazaire. But I fear it means very little. Anyone could have imported such ink.
Fair enough. Still worth remembering.
Look, this slip is stained.
With wine. Not much to go on either. Especially not in Beauclair.
Perhaps. Yet perhaps also worth remembering.
Let's sum up what we know. Seems Dettlaff's being blackmailed.
All noted down using one and the same as...
Not much.
But enough to ascertain
Actually, it is. Dettlaff's being manipulated. That's one idea. Could be worth a shot. But what about...
He will not. I shall convince him to stay his hand. Assure him you're a friend seeking to help. I'll await him...
Think he'll listen?
He will.
Ought to wait with you, maybe.
No. He'll sense you from a mile off. Simply fail to appear. I'd better stay...
Fine.
So be it. We'll await you here.
Bloody hell. Geralt of Rivia, Master Witcher.
I was not mistaken. You arrived and trouble followed soon after.
Step aside. Got a matter for the Duchess.
At last, Witcher. We've been on tenterhooks. Did you catch Milton's killer?
Found the beast of Beauclair. Just couldn't kill it.
We sent you after a monster, and you return with nothing? We are very disappointed.
Situation's not quite that simple. Beast's a powerful vampire.
Is this a problem? Is it too much for a witcher? A monster slayer? But everyone knows how to end a vampire. Draw him by trick into sunlight. Or arm yourself with ample garlic and drive a stake through its heart.
Garlic's useless against vampires. Sun and stakes don't hurt him either. Those methods, pure invention. Only work in legends and fables.
And buckthorn? When I was a child, Grandmama Ademarta always claimed buckthorn drives off vampires.
Silver sword's your best option for keeping them at bay. But it won't get the job done, because only a higher vampire can truly kill another of its kind.
Excuses. Ha! Your Grace, I shall assemble a battue. Bring the matter to its end at once. The Witcher need but tell us where to find this monster.
Whoa, this is work for a Witcher, not for your guardsmen.
Yet when a Witcher fails, my guardsmen must step in. I'll take my best. 40 hardened veterans. No vampire can stand up to that.
40, 50, 100? Doesn't matter. Won't make any difference against him.
You have not seen my guardsmen in action.
Can they fight fog? Hit a target that moves faster than the wind?
How? What creature can do such things?
Creatures like this one. Higher vampires, we call them. Each one's a little different. Unique or exceptional, you might say. Some transform into giant bats. Others communicate with animals, command them.
Yet all are still brainless beasts.
Dead wrong. Thinking of lesser vampires. Alps, Ekamaras, Catacans, for instance. They're ruled by instinct, sure. Attack anything that smells of blood. Higher vampires? They think. They employ reason.
Monsters driven by reason. A curious contention. What, then, do you intend to do?
Try to talk to him.
I cannot believe this. Her Grace summons a Witcher to kill a monster.
Know what I'm doing. His lover was kidnapped. He's being blackmailed.
Blackmailed? Be so kind as to explain how a vampire might be blackmailed.
Higher vampires? They're like us, motivated by emotions, not instinct. Not only are they intelligent to an extreme, they're emotionally rich, capable of feeling many things, even love. This one fell in love with a woman, a human, and he'll do anything to keep her from harm.
You do not, I trust, suggest we let Milton's killer go free. Or wait until it murders again. We must render it harmless as quickly as possible.
I'll find the blackmailer, free the vampire's lover.
You were to destroy him, not help him.
No one else should die. That's most important. Soon as the woman's safe, he'll have no more reason to kill.
I admit to being swayed, which...
Got one lead. A few scraps of paper. Blackmail. One of them stained. A drop of...
You've no idea how wrong you are, my dear. Send for the ducal sommelier. Hop, hop! In Tucson, wine is sacred. Here there is no such thing as a drop.
Your Grace wished to see me?
Witcher, show him the paper scrap. Benoit, can you determine which wine made this stain?
Yes, yes. The west bank of the Sarre. It's simple. Sarre.
That's impossible. Perhaps some Sonreal was stolen.
Sonreal. Never heard of it.
It's highly unlikely you've ever had a chance to partake of it. As I said, it is only ever served to the ducal family.
Didn't stop it from ending up on that scrap of paper. Unless your Grace's sommelier is mistaken.
In matters of wine, Benoit is never mistaken. If he says it, we must ride to Castel Revello.
Wait. Your Grace...
I hope you do not suppose we will sit on our ducal hiney and do nothing.
Your Grace, what you propose is...
It pleases me to see you gentlemen finally agree on something. We shall go, accompanied by the best. We will travel incognito. For the duration of this mission, I release you from your obligation to adhere to court protocol. In short, from now on, I am Anna Henrietta, not your Grace.
Yes, Your Grace. Witcher, are you ready?
Yeah, ready to...
Excellent.
This vampire, have you ever faced its sort before?
I have.
How did it end? Did you kill it?
Didn't have to fight him. Hadn't killed anyone.
Have you ever heard of anyone defeating such a vampire?
Know of a man who defeated one, sure, but he didn't manage to kill it. Ultimately, only another vampire can kill a vampire. Go, go.
Panthers have attacked the wagon! We must help!
Come on.
Stay back, Your Grace. We shall see to this. Back, you beast! Begone! Save us! Back, you beast! Begone! Save us! Back, you beast!
Done. Time to move on.
If not for you, we'd have been done for.
They were fortunate
Thank
we
you.
happened by.
You saved our lives.
Hooray!
Tell me more about this vineyard, Castel Ravello.
It's the best in Oltusa. An old master of the winemaking trade runs it. Fabrizio.
He trustworthy?
He's held his post for years. There's never been a problem. Till now. I wish to know your thoughts, Geralt. The Sonreal stain, how did it wind up on the pavement? Is someone from the vineyard blackmailing the vampire?
Could be a servant, could be the steward, could be the wine was just stolen from the estate.
We shall know when we arrive. It's not far now.
Captain de la Tour, we did not expect any visitors from the palace. How are affairs at court?
Doubtless you've heard of the Beast of Beauclair. Well, we've our hands full. Especially since the rogue last attacked in the palace gardens.
I trust Her Illustrious Highness was not harmed.
Kind of you to ask, Master Fabrizio. I am well.
Your Grace? We were not warned. I shall order the salon prepared at once.
That won't be necessary. As you can see, we are not here on an official visit.
Naturally. Might I ask then what has brought you to Castel Ravello?
This is an inspection. We've got questions. You'll answer them.
Oh, and who are you, sir, to speak to me this way?
This is Geralt of Rivia, a witcher. He has come to Toussaint on my personal invitation.
Which is to say...
Which is to say, I expect you to treat him with the utmost respect.
Of course, Your Grace.
Did you hear that, Witcher? Fabrizio will be delighted to answer your every question.
Want to talk about Sonreal?
I am at your service.
Some of this wine might have been stolen. Just a suspicion we have, but any burglaries lately?
Burglaries? Not to my knowledge. And a few days. The barrels lie safely in the cellar.
The San Real. How many?
One might say only I do.
Not like you make the wine all alone.
I see you've little notion how wine is made. The workers assist me only to the stage. Workers, again, assist me during barreling, but the wine lies in the cellar, gains character. Once this...
We'll not get anywhere asking questions.
Your Grace?
Master Fabricio, we have proof someone's gained access to San Real. Someone who should not have, which means one of two things. Either you lie to our face, or you are an idiot who has had wines.
But...
Silence! And listen. I shall Remind me, where is the San Real stored?
In...
I shall find it. Give me the...
We shall wait here, Master Fabricio.
What if Fabricio's blackmailing the vampire? Considered that?
He has his flaws, but I would never suspect him of such a thing. He's been very loyal. He owes all he has to me. His father frittered away the family fortune. He left his son an encyclopedic knowledge of wine. That is all. Fabricio lived as a beggar until I appointed him steward of Castel Ravello. Only then did he come into his own.
So where do we start?
Let us see if all the barrels are present. Here's the inventory ledger.
Vintner's log. Fermentation everything lines up at first glance.
Then we must follow our other lead. Benoit said the stain came from the 1269 vintage. Let's find it.
Est. Think everyone and their mother's heard of this wine.
Among the best in the world. Castel Ravello is famous for it.
Fiorano. Dandelion's favorite. Adores it.
Ah, yes.
Got Pomino over here. Ervelus. I like it. Quite dry.
An excellent wine. You've good taste.
San Real. 1270 vintage.
That's the wrong year. Keep looking.
San Real. Barrels are dated 1268.
Close, but not quite the right year.
Right here. 1269. What now?
Let's see if any barrels are empty.
Wanna open them?
For now, a knock will suffice. If you hear a hollow thud, we will have found what we seek.
Full. Full.
Full?
Full. This one's full too. Full. Looks like all the barrels are full. Dead end, I'm afraid.
Full they are. The question is, are they full of Sonrial? Grab a tap and a hammer. We shall open them one by one and taste.
Ready. We can start. Ready.
Step aside.
So?
I'd recognize this taste anywhere. This one is good. Revolting, bitter plonk.
Could have gone sour while aging.
Impossible. This is not wine. This is contaminated refuse that should never have made it into a barrel. The fact that it did was no accident, I'm sure.
Master Fabricio. Let's see what he has to say about it.
Master Fabricio, I am very disappointed.
But, Your Grace,
You are a step away from losing your head. Speak the truth and you might yet keep it.
I admit it. I sold a barrel of Sonrial. I beg you to forgive me.
Why did you do it?
I couldn't resist. The sum they offered, it was enormous. I gave in.
Is what I provide not enough?
I wished to buy back my family's estate. For here, nothing is truly mine. I've a roof over my head, ample food to eat, but what is a nobleman without land of his own? I shall tell you everything, if you agree to show me mercy.
Who'd you sell the wine to?
A few weeks past at the Pheasantry, a rich nobleman approached me. He called himself a diplomat, well connected at court. He suggested we embark on an enterprise. Some of his clients had offered dizzying sums for even a drop of Sonrial. He was to serve as intermediary.
This man's name?
He never revealed it. He was tall, black-haired, and spoke with a foreign lilt. He claimed to hail from Sintra.
I've no Sintrin aristocrat at court.
Wine itself. How'd you hand it over?
We met under the cover of darkness in the ruins of Fort Astre. A dozen or so men came to collect. Armed men. The kind that stink of trouble. I had hauled the barrel there. They transferred it to their cart, and we went our separate ways.
That's it? That the last you ever saw of them?
That is to say, a few days passed. A messenger arrived. He said they wished to buy another barrel and, well, I've prepared it. Have it ready to deliver.
That's enough. Know all we need to know.
Your Grace, I beg your forgiveness.
Get out of my sight. Captain, have your men take Master Fabricio to the dungeon. He must answer for his crime. High treason the charge. What now, Witcher?
We set a trap. Need to catch the wine thieves. Sentry and Nope. Next, transport.
For once, I agree with you. We will do as you say.
Fine. Relax. Now we wait.
Ah, our favorite vintner.
It's not him.
Is it just me, or did we agree you'd wait for my signal?
That was the plan, but...
Great shot. Good thing you reacted. Can't say how that would have ended otherwise.
At your service. It was a good fight. We managed to capture one of the scoundrels.
Let's ask him a few questions. Come on.
Witcher, a moment. I was wrong about you.
Well, had no reason to trust me, and I didn't do much to change that.
True. You are not the most endearing of men. At any rate, I see the effort you put forth. And I appreciate it. Let us go to her grace. She awaits nearby.
Wait, she here?
I hope you did not think I would leave this to you alone, especially when every hour could prove essential. This prisoner of yours, bring him to me. Captain, do the honors.
Who sent you?
His name is Dog. They say he plowed your mother.
Once again, who sent you?
Your nun's lover. They call it...
Wait. If he doesn't wish to speak, I'm certain the Witcher will need bait to lure the beast of Beauclair.
What?
Sure can. Fresh out.
In that case, He is all yours.
Captain, have your men find me a strong rope. Kind that won't snap when we hang this fellow from a tree.
Rope?
Live bait. Great for monsters, provided they catch the scent of its blood. But I'll see to that.
What? No. Crikey, no! Don't let him!
Stop screaming. Save your strength. Got a long night ahead of you.
No! Don't let him! I'll talk!
Who hired you?
He'll kill me!
Oughta be worried about me right now. Who is he?
Go on, man. Spit it out.
The Cintrian. That is what they call him. I've never seen him, but I know he mustered the men for this caper. That's what they said, that we were working for the Cintrian. I don't know anything.
Take him away.
Yes, Your Grace.
I shan't return to the palace. Our mission has not yet ended. The Witcher... He's late.
Relax.
There's something I'd like to know. How can you be so damned calm?
Side effect of my mutations.
What if something has happened to him?
Captain seems like a man who can take care of...
Perhaps he can. But this Cintrian... He managed to steal ducal wine from under my guardsman's... And it was he who specified the victims for the vampire. One must be exceptionally confident to blackmail such a monster.
Still don't know this Cintrian's behind the kidnapping and blackmail. Might have just handled the theft of the wine.
Even if it's so, he then sold the wine to the blackmailers. As I see it, that makes him a...
Need to find the Cintrian. Even if none of it's his doing, he could... Besides, it's one thing to know who ordered the killings. Other thing entirely, and just as important, is why they... Someone's coming.
Captain, why so long? We expected you hours ago.
This Cintrian does not work alone. We are fighting an organization, not one man. Bandits attacked us, not a small force either. One of my boys has a broken arm, another a shattered knee, lamed for life. And the word on the street is there's a
Don't care.
I will start at the port warehouse where the wine was delivered. We identified it, then learned... We found him. He admitted all. A man had paid him to sign... There, fate lent us a hand. A waitress recalled spilling wine on a nobleman who spoke with a Cintrian accent.
What did he look like?
Her description was not helpful. Handsome, well-dressed, with a beard. No distinguishing marks. This could... On the Cintrian's arm was Cecilia Bellant.
The singer? I've heard...
The same. We went to her home immediately. A chambermaid claimed Cecilia is to meet a Cintrian gentleman tonight.
Gotta nab the Cintrian. See?
You read my mind, Witcher. I shall gather my men, so...
Out of the question. If the Cintrian truly...
Duchess is right. Need to be careful. Best go there, blend...
Precisely what we shall do.
We, Your Grace.
Geralt and I. In that sort of company, the Witcher could use my help.
Where's the event gonna be held?
The Mandragora always assembles at the same place. Geralt, you must don appropriate attire.
only my purse would.
Is that not this cur with the price on his head? It's him! Get him!
Don't let him gain momentum! Damn!
Didn't look like locals. Amy was right. I'm a hunted man.
A smashing place we have, eh? Wine by the barrel. Peace and quiet. Ah!
The guard brings peace to our domains. Flout its writ and rot in chains.
All is in order!
Sacre!
Excuse me?
There is no excuse.
Oh.
I'm... Ever your servant, sir.
Ah!
The Witcher's not nearly as nasty as they make him out to be.
The guard brings peace to our domains. Flout its writ and rot in chains.
Late. Why does that not surprise me?
Well, well. I did not expect you to have such a sense of style. My.
Huh?
They're a little different, the ones Mandragora member.
Let's go.
Mm-hmm. Wise of you to hide your weapons. They'd not have... How do we find the Cintrian? Have you a plan?
Key is not to spook him. Need to ask after his partner, Cecilia, first. Less likely to raise suspicions. Especially since he might be
What do you mean?
Ran into some of his thugs in town. Knew who I was. Had it in for me.
Right. Right you are. We must proceed with caution. Come, it's our turn.
Madame, Monsieur, an extraordinary pleasure to wed. Tonight, I particularly recommend you direct.
We were really hoping to meet Cecilia Belant.
You are admirers, I surmise. I'm certain you will have...
It cannot be easy to identify anyone in this crowd. Perhaps you could help us find her.
I don't know where she is now, but I can give you a clue.
Let's hear it.
Seek the Kaviri orchid.
Meaning?
Cecilia wears one in her hair. You shall recognize her easily by the orchid.
Well, well. Dandelion's always complaining about artists being poor as temple mice.
The residence belongs to none of them. They are guests here. Oriana, she owns this. Woman in the black dress. There, on the balcony.
Got her. Doesn't wear a mask?
It would be pointless. All would know her anyway.
Koviri Orchid. Let's look for it. If we find Cecilia, we'll find the Cintrian.
Go on, Geralt. Be bold. Show us the artist in you. The paintballs. Cast them at the canvas.
Good folk, yet another.
It's good to see you, Geralt.
Paradise, paradise, profit them.
Silence. The artist must focus. Yellow. Why every yellow?
It's obvious. It represents transgression in its purest form.
She ought to be in one of the alcoves.
Should you tire of these hues, drop them in the pail and
You
add
look
a
to me
different
an
tint.
artist of immense talent.
That green, lush and verdant as a field of vines.
To vines and to wine!
Quite the noble color.
Splendid! The sky over Toussaint before a storm.
Or a deeply internalized fear of intimacy.
Should you? Voila! Fine. Now, allow me a moment to ponder. My appraisal? The painting depicts spiritual dualism. The continual battle between good and evil, and defiance.
Oh yes, that's him all right. Good versus evil. The dualistic nature of man.
And defiance. Absinthe, the preferred hooch of artists.
Careful. It packs a pretty powerful punch.
I've built up a pretty powerful resistance.
This is the Let's go.
Your boards, as you've made no effort to understand. It's a metaphor of the constant struggle, power, and
He's a dance. Pretentious. I was prepared for all sorts of criticism, but pretend. Blah blah blah. Avant-garde, schmavant-garde. It's all about.
My deepest regards. Exceptional, true.
Look, lanterns. They say releasing them brings good luck.
Hey, tittle tittle, the cat and the fiddle.
Fine. Let's give it a try.
Never suspected you believed in such things. Look at the mage. I believe he's casting spells.
Yeah, we'll see.
There are a great many highly qualified candidates.
Then I shall have to convince you you're unbeaten.
We wish to be alone. Please, we are busy.
Sure, it's an original.
My employer swears it. Besides...
Ah, how beautiful. The dolphins. That is no ordinary illusion. The man is a true artist.
Impressive.
Employer swears it. Besides, have you not heard the news?
Have I not heard? It's on everyone's lips. 4 de Tuvets in one night. The theft of the century. And here you are, offering one to me.
If you are not interested, sir, I'm sure someone else.
Right, fine. You can't think I'd let such an opportunity pass. How much?
Slow down! You have declared your intent. Now I will convey this to my client. We shall get back to you. Please await word.
We must strip off the manacles of fool. Venture into the arms of How fares your
beg your
health,
pardon.
sir?
What's that?
My deepest regards. How fares your health, sir?
Wow. He's a dancer.
That's to say, the other one.
Do not disturb. Shoo, shoo.
It's the right flower.
Of course it is. A Koviri orchid lends just the right contrast to her complexion.
Need to talk to your model. It'll only take a minute.
Lie still. You may speak.
Weak. Centrian.
Sintry.
Orchid.
I told. As she could.
Really like.
Like
Know where
he gave. It must be someone famous at home. Such talent.
Someone left their loot behind. Looks a little like dandelions. Empty, heart-shaped box. Cecilia must have left it behind.
It looks like it held a flask of perfume. Gift.
Near the Fistech. Artist's way of numbing their existential pain.
I do not even wish to comment.
Bloody colorful, that's what!
Are they even? Because the right cuff seems somewhat...
Sorry, only artists in the Mandragora allowed.
Come. We must consider what to do.
I'd recognize that voice anywhere.
You must be mistaking me for someone else.
I served 15 years in the palace. Your Grace, I'd not mistake you for anyone.
Shh. Not so loud. We are here incognito, on state business.
Yes, Your Grace. How may I serve?
Looking for
She's in her dressing room. Where?
What did the man look like?
Tall, broad-shouldered.
That must be him. We must get to the
Yes, Your Grace.
No, stay here.
Understood.
Quickly, upstairs. That must be Cecilia.
No pulse. We're too late.
He slit her throat. The brute.
Didn't go out the door. Guard would have noticed. Might still be somewhere here.
You must find him before he harms another. I shall alert Oriana. At once. She should bring her soirée to a close.
Shouldn't split up.
Geralt, I will be fine.
Tore down the door. Bloody handprint. Made a platform. Clever. It's his. Must be pretty strong, too. Killed her, then went out on the balcony. Must have climbed this ladder. Could still be here. Need to stay alert. Bloodstains. Jewelry box. Lock's busted. Picked open, probably. Smashed mirror. Someone crashed into it, hard, then sank to the floor. Sconce is bent. Smeared with blood. Someone try to grab it? Looks valuable, but it's not what he came for. Empty inkwell. Knocked over, turned toward the room. Canvas is cut. Somebody took a knife to the painting, looks like. Hunting knife. Richly ornamented. Used during the fight, probably. Blood on the window frame. Someone climb out? Fall out? Links of a snapped chain. Jewel must have been on it. Precious stone. Bloody fingerprint on it. Thief came for this, must have. Tiny chain links next to it. From a snapped necklace? Seems there was a struggle. Jewel was in the box, it seems. They fought, struggled, that's... Jewel's still here, though, so...
So, this is the tracker. A witcher, yes?
Indeed, this is him. We found the body to...
And ended up here, but I've only found evidence of a fight. Seems the Centrians killed his last. Finally failed this time.
Poor girl. Always told her she chose her males. I'll alert the staff. Have them see to her body at once. I caught him red-handed, attempting...
What did you do?
There was no time. I feared he'd escape, refused to give him the chance. He stood with his back to me, so he struck his head on a picture frame as we struggled. He was bleeding, dazed, and then he drew a knife. Everything happened very quickly then. I knocked the weapon out of his hand and pushed him hard. He...
Fell out of the window.
Just so.
Claim the man was trying to rob you when you...
Yes, he stood over my...
After...
Why, that's the heart of Toussaint.
I bought it. Many years.
Jewel seems
The heart is an heirloom. It belonged to my family for years. Then
seems someone is very determined to find it. The thief left.
So... Is this the only evidence we found?
Also happened on the weapon he attacked Oriana with. Hunting knife. Used to skin game. Got an emblem on its hilt.
This crest is used by the Lords of Duntine. The present master of the castle is a passionate hunter. Our next lead, perhaps.
Oriana, everything we discussed, word gets out, he, failed in his attempt to steal the jewel.
Discretion is in the interest of us all. I'll not ask what this is about, just as I expect not to be
Forgive me, Madam Oriana, but might I have a word?
You must excuse me a moment.
The drawing. It's on the same type of paper the victims' names were written on.
Who were not only behind the beast's murders, but also stole the...
Look, the wine, the jewel, both tied to you intrinsically. Coincidence? Not something I'm willing to believe. Worried about one thing. That somewhere at the end of this scheme, plan might call for an attempt on your life.
My sister, Siana, She left court when we were children.
What did your sister do?
Siana...
Parents run afoul of...
No. She was born at an inopportune moment. They said she would...
Could be the case. Could also be because they were treated like lepers from birth.
She was angry. I recall one such situation. She persuaded Cedric the Coolbur. We were children, and Cedric's brother was smitten. Siana knew of it. She told Cedric. In the end, they forced her to leave the palace. You see, I recall her...
Here, that's normal for...
True. The wine, its theft was the first clue. But I grew almost certain when I saw the heart of Toussaint. Siana received it from father as a gift, at a time when someone wanted some of my wine. The same someone ordered our family jewels stolen. Orica.
A fallen princess satisfying whims?
Your mission has gained new import. You must go. No matter what she did, she is not to be harmed in any way.
Can't guarantee.
Witcher, that was not a request.
Your Grace, Geralt, I'd like to introduce...
Regis! What a surprise! I had no idea you were in Beauclair. And this is...
My very dear friend, Detlaf van der Eretain, an arrival from Nazaire.
We are lending our combined resources to the Witcher's hunt.
Ah, yes. Splendid. But why are you here at Oriana's?
They came to pay me a surprise visit, so I invited Regis in for a glass of wine. We've known each other for... ages. Literally. Witcher, I hear you know Regis too. Even that you are friends.
Few I can rely on like I can on Regis. Kinda hoping he thinks the same of me.
Curious. It seems opposites really do attract.
Don't be fooled, dear. Geralt has many merits.
You said you're both aiding him with his contract. It involves the Beast of Beauclair, I suspect. Master Witcher, maybe you could satisfy my curiosity. What's it like going toe-to-toe with a monster, knowing you've only two options, to kill or be killed?
Despite what you might have heard, I don't lunge at every monster I see, sword in hand. Talking gets the job done, for some.
I wonder what a monster might have to say to you.
It might want to apologize.
My word. For what might a monster wish to apologize to a witcher?
For killing. Though at times there is no choice, when loved ones are at risk and require protection.
Same as humans. Put them in that situation, they'll kill too.
You understand this. It must be why you and Regis are friends. If I understand you correctly, you would rather help a monster than kill it.
If possible, yeah. Or at least try.
Enough about the Witcher trait for now. Regis mentioned you come from Nazaire. I spent time there as a child.
Fond memories?
It was wonderful. I was positively entranced by the land's fashions. Deep-cut dresses I found most fascinating.
I believe we're running short on wine. I should go to the cellar, bring another bottle.
Let me go. Wanna help, Regis? Know your wine a lot better than I know mine.
We shall return forthwith.
An exceptional conversation, don't you think? Vampires, a witcher, and the Duchess of Toussaint? My.
Highly exceptional, Regis. Wanted to talk to you in private. You crazy bringing Dettlaff here?
Geralt, allow me to explain.
No, let me explain. He's dangerous.
But that is precisely what I'm doing.
That is, not until he...
Guessing it's no...
It would be quite some coincidence.
Mm-hmm. Or...
I met her years ago, before I met you.
But I shall tell...
Now,
that's splendid.
Duchess,
do you mean to say you're
mean to say we can't breathe a word of this to Dettlaff, who wants revenge above all else?
Geralt, you must...
No, Regis. Can't risk it. Gotta keep Dettlaff here while I go to Duntine.
Alone?
Alone. That way I
hope you know what you're doing.
Splendidly, Dettlaff. Ah, I'm great. You're back.
Contrary to what common folk believe, choosing a wine is not nearly as easy as it might.
Regis. Gallant. I regret all the more that I shan't finish the second bottle with you.
Your Grace.
I thank you for your help. It's been invaluable. You have exceptional friends. This Dettlaff, an intriguing man to say the least. Neither did I. But I have not... I've decided my guardsmen will support you. It stands along the Sans Retour. Captain de la Tour and his men will await you there at mid...
Oh, the Witcher! The one that Duquesa summoned!
Where are you skittering off to? They say